Hey everyone, Ken Priori here, and it is Disability Pride Month. We're well into it by this point, but I wanted to talk about my books one more time because they are neurodivergent powerhouses with a broad cast, each dealing with their own thing. Perfect for this month, where we're trying to honor and be prideful of disability. So you all have seen it before. The Monsters Among Us stars a young man whose entire life thus far has been the orchestration of malevolent purposes. Think the Truman Show, but with demons. And once he breaks free from that facade, he finds that on the other end are grotesque gods and demons and weird and demonic other horrific entities. And he has to battle those monsters, and this is obviously very symbolic for battling the monsters within, and that's what he's doing the entire time as well, because he has to try to learn to live with his neurodivergence. He has to learn how to piece his life back together and live well by the end of it. Try to anyway, and if you haven't read it yet, stop watching this video, because I'm about to spoil something. At the end of this, he does achieve that. And then he goes on to be a father in the wake of gods. And this book, I'm quite proud of. I was scared at first that I wasn't going to be able to top the deeply immersive and inventive narrative that is The Monsters Among Us. But I think in a lot of ways I did. And I also bring forth this really dynamic quality of the book where Seth is bipolar. He's neurodivergent. He's overcome it, but what does that mean to overcome, one's neurodivergence, especially for someone like Seth who medication doesn't work for? Overcoming the process of sustaining that balance never truly ends. It might get better. It might get easier with time and effort and discipline, as it does for Seth. But now he finds himself in a new dilemma where he has a daughter now who is showcasing much of the same problematic tendencies that he has or had in The Monsters Among Us. And one particular thing that this book showcases is Seth dealing with the guilt over a certain tragedy that he caused in The Monsters Among Us. And he really is trying desperately to be a good father to his daughter Persephone and to lead her down the correct path, while also balancing certain echoes of his past that show up at their doorstep to set his new life askew. So that was a really fun dynamic to write about in this book that tackles a lot of the same themes and problems as The Monsters Among Us, but in a drastically different way that will surprise you at every turn. And along with it being Disability Pride Month, I wanted to take a moment to talk about these books again, because as you probably know by now, The Monsters Among Us won the Firebird Book Award in Best Fantasy, and also was named a distinguished favorite in horror by the Independent Press Awards. And I've announced last week a few times, because I'm very happy about it, The Monster in the Wake of Gods just won the Firebird Book Award as well. But this time in Best Fantasy and Best Horror. So I'm stoked to have the two books in the series so far. Book 3 comes out next year. Win the Firebird Book Award back to back. I think it's a testament to the characters and the universal plights at hand in these books that make the story so relatable and enjoyable, even to those who don't like fantasy and horror. I worked for 6 years tirelessly to make sure The Monsters Among Us would be accessible to everyone. No matter, it would be fun for those who just like action-packed fantasy, as well as gruesome cosmic and body horror, but also those who just like literary fiction, people who like just grounded, down-to-earth human stories, despite how crazy these books get. They are always deeply human at the end of the day, and I would be delighted if you check them out. Thank you.